Hey, I'm Peter Riolo. After selling $500 million of New York City real estate, I'm here to talk to you about condos versus co-ops. If you want to buy an apartment in our city, there are two options, and what you need to know about them is very important. There's three main takeaways. Who can buy them, what they cost, and what are the rights and obligations associated. And if you don't know those three things, you're guaranteed to make a mistake in going into this very fast-paced, limited inventory market if you want to make a buy. So the first, who can buy them? In a condo, you have to think a condo is more like the house in the countryside, where you own the interior shape, you have fee simple title to it, it's real property, you can buy it if you're a company. So there's a very broad pool of who can buy condominium apartments. Instead, co-ops are a bit more controlled. Co-ops are really for primary residents only, domestic people that show tax returns, because there's an application process. And the co-op board is going to look at your application based on your financials and approve or decline the sale. Whereas the condo board only has the right to buy back the property if they think something wrong is going on or something nefarious is going on. It's never happened. Condos are not in the business of buying back their individual units. So it's pretty much a sure thing, as long as you abide by the rules in the application, that your condo purchase will be approved. Co-op is not a sure of thing where there's a full financial application, including some reference letters. It's kind of like applying for a mortgage, except to the co-op board. It's primarily reserved only for green card holders or citizens of the United States, because you have to show at least 2 years of domestic tax returns. Next, what they cost. Now, New York City is the great co-op market. 70% of the apartments that you can own in New York City are co-ops, which means 30% are condominiums. Well, there's supply and demand. Less people can buy co-ops because it's not open to internationals or investors or companies, and there's more of them for sale, generally, because there's 70% more inventory. So there's the answer. Co-ops are about 30% less expensive on a price per square foot value, or what you get for your dollar amount. So if you go into the co-op market, you have a particular budget that is significantly less than what your condo budget would be, and that doesn't necessarily equate to how much space you get, because condos are more expensive. So the rights and obligations I touched on a little bit in the beginning when I started to speak about who can buy in a co-op and a condo. But essentially, a condo, you have complete rights to the apartment. You own fee simple title. You pay your taxes and your common charges, which go towards building maintenance, but there's very little regulations around if you can rent, how long you can rent for. I mean, maybe the condo wants at least a year at a time, but you can definitely lease it. Renovations, you still have to make an application. As long as you're not damaging the integrity of the building, you can renovate it. So the condo is a very complete form of ownership, and there's all the rights reserved in your ownership there. Whereas in a co-op, it's a bit more restrictive, right? There's this great purchase application that everybody gets really scared about, given the amount of deals that we handle a year. It's not very scary to us, but we make that process easier. It still requires a look at your income, your assets, and your liabilities in order to make sure that you're board approvable. So when working with a client, we do a financial analysis. That financial analysis is going to be a breakdown of cash, investment accounts, retirement accounts, liabilities, revolving debts, and your income. And we're going to establish what your debt to income ratio is based on the purchase that you want, and what your post-closing liquidity is based on how much you're putting down or how much cash you're outlaying for the purchase, and what you'll have left over in non-retirement assets. Each co-op has its own guidelines, and usually we can get a lens into how a co-op operates based on the managing agent, the purchase application, and know if you're a good fit for that building before you go in and offer it. Because the worst thing is to go offer, think you're buying someplace, and then realize that actually we can't afford this, we're not going to pass the board, or even worse, applying to the board and getting denied. Now, that never happens because we do everything up front. We understand your numbers. We help you make an educated decision to what you want to buy. So if you're in the market, you're thinking about it, your first time to buy, or if you're in a seasoned New York City resident and you bought and sold before, refreshing on what is involved in owning your co-op or condo, the rights and obligations that exist between that, it's a very important step to becoming a ready, willing, and able purchaser. Here to guide you through the process as always. Much love, one heart.